Is wealth a blessing or a burden when it lies untouched and unused? The wise sage Saadi once told a story that delves into this very question. In a small village surrounded by rolling hills, there lived a beggar named Rahim. Each day, Rahim would traverse the dusty streets, humbly extending his hand to passers-by. The villagers saw him as a harmless figure, a man who survived on the kindness of others. Little did they know that Rahim had a secret. He saved every coin he received, stashing them away in a hidden place beneath his modest dwelling. Over the years, his collection grew substantial. He never spent a single coin on comfort or necessity beyond the bare minimum. His clothes remained tattered, and his meals meager. The weight of his hidden fortune pressed heavily on his mind, but he found a peculiar solace in simply possessing it. One day, whispers began to circulate through the village. Some claimed that Rahim was not as poor as he seemed. A merchant swore he saw Rahim purchasing precious items in a distant town. These rumors eventually reached the ears of the king's advisors, who brought them to the attention of the monarch himself. The kingdom was on the brink of war, and resources were scarce. The king, burdened by the impending conflict, sought all possible means to fund his armies. Intrigued by the tale of the wealthy beggar, he ordered that Rahim be brought to the palace. Rahim stood before the grandeur of the royal court, feeling out of place amidst the opulence. The king addressed him kindly yet firmly. He spoke of the grave challenges the kingdom faced and the sacrifices required from all its subjects. He suggested that Rahim contribute his accumulated wealth to support the war effort, assuring him that his generosity would not be forgotten. Fear and disbelief washed over Rahim. He had spent a lifetime collecting his coins, not to share, but to possess. Parting with them was unthinkable. He conveyed to the king that his savings were the result of years of hardship, and that it would be unjust to take them from a man who had so little. The king listened but remained resolute. He reasoned that wealth hoarded and unused served no purpose, especially when the kingdom was in dire need. He believed that every resource should be mobilized for the greater good. The king expressed that even the smallest contributions could make a significant difference in such critical times. Despite the king's appeals, Rahim stood firm in his refusal. He could not see beyond his own attachment to his hidden treasure. The king, realizing that gentle persuasion would not suffice, made a difficult decision. He ordered that Rahim's wealth be seized and allocated for the defense of the kingdom. Royal guards were dispatched to Rahim's dwelling. They uncovered the secret stash. Astonished by the amount amassed by a man presumed to have nothing, the coins were brought to the royal treasury, where they were used to equip soldiers and secure provisions. Left with nothing, Rahim wandered the streets in a daze. His neighbors, upon learning of his fortune and its confiscation, looked upon him with a mix of pity and scorn. Some thought he should have willingly aided the kingdom. Others felt sorry for his loss, but questioned his choices. The war came and went, and thanks in part to the resources gathered, the kingdom prevailed. Peace returned, and prosperity began to flourish once more. The king ensured that those who had contributed to the war effort were recognized and rewarded. Craftsmen received commissions, farmers were granted new lands, and merchants gained favorable trade agreements. Rahim, however, remained empty-handed and forgotten. Sage Saadi reflected on this tale, highlighting that wealth unused is a wasted blessing. When gentle means fail to bring about what is necessary for the common good, force may become a regrettable necessity. Those who hoard riches without purpose risk losing not only their wealth, but also the opportunity to make a meaningful impact on the world around them. In the end, Rahim's fortune served the kingdom, but his unwillingness to part with it willingly left him isolated and destitute. The villagers moved on, the king continued his reign, and Rahim became a solitary figure, haunted by the what-ifs of his past choices. So, is wealth truly a blessing or a burden when it lies untouched and unused? Perhaps the true value of what we possess is realized only when it is shared, benefiting not just ourselves, but the greater community. The story of Rahim serves as a timeless reminder that holding tightly to what we have may ultimately leave us empty-handed.